Good morning. I'm happy to be here again and get to start my day with you. So let's get started. All right, today we're going to switch it up. We're going to put our hands on our hips first and we're going to move them side to side. So move them side to side and do it fast or slow, whatever you want. Okay, and now put both arms up and bend forward and bend up and let's take both of our arms and give ourselves a big hug. Oh, good. All right, can you shake your arms out? How about your legs? Shake them out. Can you spin? Don't do it too fast, you might get dizzy. Do you know what else spins? Planets. Those in space. And today we are going to read a book about space. So we'll do our calendar and then we'll read this cool book I have about space, okay? All right, we'll go through calendar kind of quickly, that way we can get to that awesome book. All right, our month is April, right? And we only have today and tomorrow. And then we have a new month. I wonder what it'll be. April. April has two sounds, two syllables. Our day of the week is right in the middle. And it starts with the W or the W sound. We'll sing our song. There's Sunday and there's Monday. There's Tuesday and there's Wednesday. There's Thursday and there's Friday. And then there's Saturday. Days of the week. 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 Today is Wednesday. Wednesday. That means what came before it. What was yesterday? It's Tuesday. And what comes after Wednesday? Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Tomorrow, our last day of April, is Thursday. Do you know what else tomorrow is? It's Mrs. Freeman's birthday. Yes, it is. So, if anybody would like to say happy birthday to her or send a birthday message, if a grown-up wants to send that to me, I will make sure that Miss Freeman gets all of your birthday messages, okay? I'm gonna go drop off some goodies on her porch from us. All right, so, but today, let's go ahead and go back to today because that was exciting news, I know. We're gonna count our numbers and find out what day we're gonna put up. What number? Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. Our number is 29. 29. And are we going to put it on the black side or the red side? Black, black, red. Black, black, red. Black, black. 29. So today is Wednesday, April 29th, 2020. And our season is still spring. And the weather today. Oh man, I was looking at the weather, so I knew how to get dressed for today because I have to go grocery shopping, a couple other things. So, the weather people said it is going to be this today. Hot. Like 80 degrees hot. means it'll be a nice day to get wet. So if it's going to be hot and sunny. I think my kids said they wanted to do the sprinkler today so they could get wet. All right. Our numbers are 9 and 10. Go ahead and hold up 9 fingers. Good. And let's hold up 10. All of them. Good. And our colors, purple, P-U-R-P-L-E. And our letter is ball. Good. Let's see if we can add any words to our B words. I didn't get any words from you guys, and that's okay. I don't know that I actually asked. If you do have any B words, you can send them to me. How about the word blue? B-L-U-E. Blue. Another color, black. B-L-A-C-K. Black. And how about brown? Dog hair all over my stuff. B-R-O-W-N. Brown. One more. I'm gonna try this one. Bunny. B-U-N-N-Y. If I have not written a word down, you can send it to me and I will add it to our list. We have ball, Blaine, boys, Benjamin, bird, black, book, bed, blue, brown, bunny. Okay, I'm gonna put that away till tomorrow. Like I said, if you find any more, you let me know. All right, our shape is diamond. I'm Danny Diamond. I have 4 sides. All of them are diagonal lines. Diamond. All right. I'm going to move you closer because I know that you're going to want to see inside of this book. Look inside space. Oh, blast off. Look at all of that. You see Earth right here? And a rocket. A rocket roars into the sky. It whooshes up and up. The ground is far below. The rocket is now in space. Space is everything that exists beyond planet Earth, our home. There are lots of strange things out there. Big chunks of rocks called asteroids are in space. People go up into space called astronauts or cosmonauts. And people who study it are called astronomers. No one knows just how big space is, not even the scientists. Some of them think it goes on forever and ever and ever. From space, Earth looks like a round ball. The blue bits are sea, and the green bits are land. So all of this is land, and then these blue areas are water. There are lots of other planets in space. They look different from Earth. Some are bigger and some are smaller. The moon. One of the closest things in space to Earth is the moon. A a big ball of rock that travels around in a circle. So the moon travels around the Earth. How big is the moon? The moon is much smaller than Earth. You could fit 4 moons on Earth. We only ever see one side of the moon as it goes around Earth. The other side looks very different. It's called the dark or far side of the moon. It's covered with huge holes called craters. Craters are made by rocks crashing into the moon from space. Why does the moon change shape? The moon is always round. It just looks as if it changes shape as different parts are lit up by the sun. So you remember, if you look up in the sky and sometimes you can see a big round moon, that means the sun is shining on the whole moon. That's a full moon. But sometimes we might only see half the moon or even a smaller portion of the moon. That means the sun is only lighting up that much of the moon. So sometimes you might see a little bit, or you might see moon more. So here's a crescent moon and a half moon. The moon is a still, silent place. It has no air, no water, and no life. Not even tiny insects can live there. At night, the moon looks as if it's shining. In fact, the light comes from the sun. The moon acts like a mirror. Why does the moon go around Earth? The moon is held in a circle or orbit around Earth by Earth's gravity. Gravity pulls small objects to big ones. So just like the Earth pulls the moon to it, if you remember how we have our magnetic wands at school and we use the paper clips, and if we hold the magnetic wand close to the paper clip will do what? It'll suck up to it, right? So that's pulling it towards it. And that's kind of like what the moon, or what the Earth does to the moon, although it doesn't do it as strong, so it's not sticking to the Earth. Let's see what's next. On the moon, around 40 years ago, astronauts flew spacecraft to the moon. They climbed out onto the dusty surface. This is called a lunar module. How did they get there? They took a rocket and they went 3, 2, 1, blast off. A moon buggy to drive around in. So that's what they drove around on the moon. The astronauts collected moon rocks to study. They took photos and made films to show everything. Ooh, there's less gravity on the moon, which makes things fall downward than on Earth. So astronauts can jump higher off the ground. Space station. In space, astronauts live in a floating home called the International Space Station. They do experiments to learn about space. 6 astronauts can live in the space station. Each astronaut exercises for 2 hours every day to stay fit and strong. And they go outside to fix things and when they do that, it's called a spacewalk. Look at this astronaut. The helmet has a radio to talk to the station crew. A backpack carries air to breathe and water to drink. The spacesuit is thick and very heavy. That's why they have to exercise so they can carry that big suit. To go into space, the astronauts wear hefty spacesuits. Let's see what's under here. Once the work is done, there's time for fun. They even play up there. How did the space station get there? The space station was built in parts and then taken up into space in different spacecraft. A robot arm rose from each spacecraft. They lifted out new parts of the station and joined them to the rest. Living in space is not easy. There's not much gravity, so everything floats around. Astronauts sleep in bags that are fixed to the station walls. The toilet has bars that stop astronauts from floating up. I don't think that'd be very fun. Try to go potty and then you float up off the toilet. Ooh, bright starlight. In the night sky, stars look far away, but one is closer to the earth than the rest, the sun. Excuse me. The sun is our star. Just as the moon goes around Earth, Earth goes around the sun. So, different parts of the Earth get sunlight in different times of the day. So right now, it's daytime because of where the sun is on the Earth. Later, it'll be nighttime when the sun is not shining on the Earth. The sun isn't solid. Like all stars, it is a massive ball of hot gas. It's so hot it keeps us warm from so far away. The middle or core of the sun is around 3,000 times hotter than the surface. Explosions in the core create the sun's heat and light. Stars are not star-shaped. Most are round, and they are enormous. About 1 million Earths could fit inside the sun. Oh my goodness. 1 million of our Earth could fit inside the sun. Whoa. Nothing can live on the sun. The fiery surface is 60 times hotter than boiling water. I don't think we'd want to live there. Warning, never, ever, ever look straight at the sun. Its bright light can damage your eyes. Don't even look at it through sunglasses. And that is very true. We don't ever want to look right at the sun. Sometimes it's tempting to do, but it will really hurt our eyes, even with sunglasses on. So let's not do that. How are stars made? First, stars begin as clouds of gas and dust swirling around in space. Then, as the clouds get thicker and the gases get hotter, the cloud gets thicker and the gases get hotter. 3, part of the cloud becomes a ball of glowing gas. 4, a star is born. Can stars stop shining? Stars can last for billions of years, but eventually they run out of gas. Some stars get cooler and grow. Layers of gas puff away into space, and all that's left is a tiny star called a white dwarf. Other stars get bigger and bigger until they explode in a brilliant burst of light, and this is called a supernova. Oh, almost missed a whole cool page. The solar system. Earth is one of 8 balls of rock or gas called planets spinning around the sun. They are all part of our solar system. The 4 planets nearest the sun, Mercury, Venus, Earth, and Mars, are made of rock and metal. The sun is easily the biggest thing in the solar system. In fact, it's bigger than everything else together. And its powerful gravity keeps the planets from drifting off. Rocky planet Venus is very hot. A lump of metal there would melt like ice. Mercury, which is the closest to the sun, is dotted with craters or holes. They were made by rocks smashing into the planet from space. So Mercury, Venus, Earth, our planet. If a rocket blasted off from Earth, it would fly for 6 months before reaching the next planet, Mars. Mars has valleys and volcanoes of red rock. Its nickname is the Red Planet. The tallest mountain on Mars is 3 times bigger than the highest mountain on Earth. How big are planets compared to the sun? Jupiter, which is a very large planet, would be as small as a tennis ball. But it's really not that small. Jupiter is by far the biggest planet in the solar system. See, it has a great red spot. It has over 60 moons spinning around it. Wow. And it has a red spot that is a storm that's lasted hundreds of years. These stripes are different gases swishing around Jupiter. So we have Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn. Look how cool that planet looks. Saturn is circled by beautiful rings. The rings are made of chunks of ice and rock. Wow, some of them are as big as a car. Next is Neptune. And then finally Uranus. Gases swirling around Uranus and Neptune make these two planets look green and blue. How are planets made? The planets are made of gas and dust that's left over after a star forms. As it swirls around the star, it joins into rocks or balls of gas. Eventually, these balls become planets. Scientists think that Earth was made like around 4.5 billion years ago. That's a long time ago. Another thing that scientists study are galaxies. Glittering galaxies. Stars aren't just sprinkled through space. They gather together in vast, dazzling groups called galaxies. Our sun is just one of 200,000 million stars that make up this spectacular spiral galaxy called the Milky Way. What's in the middle of the Milky Way? A black hole. And there's a bright bulge in the middle of most galaxies. They're giant red stars that gather there. 1 light year is how far a beam of light travels in 1 year. Wow. How many galaxies are in the universe? Too many to count. The Milky Way is shaped like a disc with a bulge in the middle. From the side, it looks like 2 fried eggs stuck together. Stargazing. People have gazed at space for thousands of years. Today, clever inventions let us see even further. Do you know what that invention is? Telescopes. Mars is red like blood, so the Romans named it after their god of war. Jupiter, the biggest planet, was named after the king of gods. Beautiful, bright Venus was named after a Roman goddess of love. And Mercury is named after the Roman messenger of the gods. From the 1600s, people used telescopes to look at space. Telescopes have glass lenses that make far away things look closer and bigger. These huge dishes called radio telescopes can study space too. Today, astronomers use very powerful telescopes to study space. They're in buildings called observatories, and they often have curved roofs that open up and let the powerful telescope do its work. For clear views of space, observatories need to be away from the other lights. So often they are built high up on mountains. To see further, astronomers send cameras and telescopes up into space. Small spacecraft called probes study different planets. A powerful telescope called Hubble floats around Earth, and it takes pictures. And then the astronomers study the pictures. Several space probes have visited Mars, and some of these probes landed on Mars inside soft, bouncy airbags to stop them from crashing. The Galileo probe flew around Jupiter and dropped a small probe in. But it disappeared forever. Space probe Voyager 1 was launched over 30 years ago. It flew past Jupiter and Saturn and is still going. Oh my goodness. Soon it will leave our solar system. So it has been, the Voyager 1 has been in space for over 30 years. That's almost as old as I am. It's been going my whole life. Space questions. How did the universe begin? Most scientists think it began with an explosion about 14 billion years ago called the Big Bang. Why do stars twinkle? Stars don't twinkle. It looks as if they do because their light wobbles as it passes through Earth's atmosphere. How was the moon made? First, soon after Earth formed, something big hit it from space. They went into orbit around Earth. Over millions of years, the rocks came together to make the moon. What is a shooting star? Shooting stars look like streaks of light in the night sky. They are not really stars. They're space. Rocks falling toward Earth. As they fall, they get hot and leave a quick light. Lots of meteors falling at once is called a meteor shower. You know, if you see a shooting star in the sky, you make a wish. Does anything live on other planets? Astronomers think that some planets or moons in our solar system might have very tiny living things called bacteria. Bigger things might live on planets outside our solar system, but they're too far away to tell. How many meteorites have landed on Earth? Around 40,000 have been found on Earth. In 1954, a small meteorite crashed into a house in Alabama. It hit a woman sleeping on a couch, and she wasn't even very hurt. That's great. Who was the first person in space? In 1961, Russian cosmonaut Yuri Gagarin was the first person to go to space. Will astronauts ever visit another planet? There are plans to send astronauts to Mars, but it won't happen for at least another 20 years. How can I become an astronaut? Some countries have space agencies that send astronauts into space. The USA has NASA. To become an astronaut, you need to study science and then train for several years. The end. That was super cool. So, I am going to send the grown-ups in your house, or mom or your daddy, I'm going to send them a couple cool things you can do with planets if you want, or you can make the solar system out of different objects. So you can get, I have a can of shaving cream here and a cup, so you can pretend like you have the Earth and the moon spins around the Earth, right? Or you can have Earth and the sun, and Earth goes around the sun, just like that. So we'll do some fun things today, but most importantly, get outside and play, because it is going to be a gorgeous day and a rainy one tomorrow. So have fun today, guys. Bye.